Hello, America. Is anyone out there? Anyone? Anyone? This is Bianca with Clean TV Live. And I'm hoping I can get a few viewers. Okay, tonight I want to talk about Obama. And I really hoped with the election of Donald Trump being president that we wouldn't have to talk about Barack Obama. But no, he's the gift, or he's the nightmare that keeps on giving. Obama is still trying to blame Russia for the fact that Donald Trump won. So he's taking this a step further because he truly believes that Russia is responsible for Donald Trump winning the election. He is preparing to enact sanctions against Russia in retaliation for them meddling in our elections. An official representative today from Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Maria Zakharova, said in a statement on the ministry's website, if Washington really does take new hostile steps, they will be answered. Any action against Russian diplomatic missions in the United States will immediately bounce back on U.S. diplomats in Russia. Frankly, we are tired of the lies about the Russian hackers. It's misinformation by the Obama administration and aimed at providing an excuse for his own failures. So I would like to go further on that. President Obama, Hillary lost this election because of you, okay? Now, I don't know, Mr. President, but perhaps I should enlighten you, because since you took office, 1,042 Democratic seats in congressional Democratic seats in congressional state legislative seats, governorships, and the presidency were lost to Republicans. Now, I don't think Russia was hacking governors. I don't think Russia cares, okay? Nothing against the governors of America, but I don't think Russia cares what the governor of Utah has to say in emails. I don't think Russia cares what the governor in the state of Maine has to say in emails. They don't care who won. They did not care who won the election. And Obama, Russia didn't care who won the presidency. So what you are trying to do is basically you are trying to leave President-elect Donald Trump with the biggest mess on his hands to clean up. Your mess, not his mess, your mess. You want to leave him with a complete disaster. Again, you lost the election. You and Hillary lost the election because Americans were tired of you and your policies. Legacy? If I hear one more person say, oh, well, Obama is upset because he wants to protect his legacy. Am I missing something? What legacy? My health insurance just went up, just tripled. My health insurance tripled. The legacy of Obamacare? Obamacare, which millions of people are having difficulty being able to afford? Is that Obama's legacy? Or is Benghazi part of Obama's legacy? How about the latest not going up to bat for Israel? Is that Obama's legacy? Well, that's Obama taking revenge on Netanyahu, who he didn't like, because whether anyone wants to admit it or not, Obama is a Muslim. Obama is a Muslim, and he does not like Israel, and he does not like the Jews. And President Obama, do you remember when you interfered in the election in Israel when Netanyahu was up for re-election. You spent millions. You went over there and tried to stick your nose in their business so that he would not get reelected. But Netanyahu is a leader that his people respect, and that's why he was reelected. And yes, let's talk about that. President Obama, here he is. I'm confident that if I had run again and articulated it, I think I could have mobilized the majority of American people to rally behind it. This is what President Obama said on Mr. Axelrod's podcast. President Obama actually believes that had he run against Trump, that he would have won. No, President Obama, you would not have won against Donald Trump because you have divided this country more than any other president in the history of the United States. President Obama, a majority of the people voted against Hillary because they were done. They were done with you and your policies, and they knew that Hillary Clinton was going to be 4 more years of Barack Obama. And frankly, the majority of Americans were intelligent enough to make the right decision. So yes, I said in a tweet that you were delusional if you thought that you would actually win against Donald Trump. President-elect Donald Trump would have beaten you in a landslide. And just quickly going back to Russia, you thinking Russia hacked into the elections? Does anyone remember Seth Rich, DNC staffer that was murdered in DC in a prominent neighborhood? Julian Assange put up a $25,000 reward shortly after his murder. So most people suspect that Seth Rich was the leak. Okay? Not the Russians. Mr. President, with all due respect, Russia could care less about you. You are a mere peon. You told Putin to stop it when you thought he was hacking the election. Am I missing something? Because Hillary used an unsecured server so that the entire world could hack into her emails. And yet you're just angry at Russia? I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to start a world war? Because I'm sure you could go and blame the Chinese as well. No, instead you want to blame the Russians. You want to blame the Russians probably because President-elect Donald Trump has mentioned that wouldn't it be nice to go into bed, so to speak, with Russia against ISIS and blow them off the planet. You do not want President-elect Donald Trump to have a good relationship with Russia. You do not want, after what you did at the United Nations, I'm sorry, the anti-Israeli resolution that passed last week and you didn't go up to bat for Israel, that's despicable. It's despicable because you know Israel has been our strongest ally in the Mideast. And today, Kerry, I cannot, frankly, I can't even look at John Kerry. He is just a complete oaf, a complete tool. And he mumbled all this mumbo jumbo about how we were close with Israel and they were our allies and this and that and we had done a lot for Israel. What have we done? You signed the Iranian deal. Have you forgotten that? I mean, with friends like America, who needs enemies? Seriously? I mean, Israel does not need a friend in Barack Obama. Israel does not need a friend in John Kerry. You have been anything but. Because, let's call it like it is. President Obama, in my opinion, is a Muslim. And I think it's been found out that it's been proven that Barack Obama and this administration have aided ISIS. We have freed how many terrorists? We've allowed terrorists to leave Guantanamo and go out, and we have no idea where they are. That's not a president that's trying to defeat ISIS. No. And we've even funded ISIS, Hillary and Obama both. So John Kerry wants to talk about how much we've done for Israel. No, we've done very little. We may have done things on the surface, but we have stuck it to them royally. But things are about to change. Things are about to change because with President-elect Donald Trump, we will have a good relationship with Israel again. We will again have our strongest ally in the Mideast. And, oh, just quickly, because I forgot to say this, John Kerry actually said that the Palestinians and the Jews in Israel, they need to learn how to live together peacefully. Where has John Kerry been living? Has he been under a rock somewhere? Well, he certainly looks like it. But John Kerry, they hate one another. The Palestinian children are brought up from day one to despise Jews. This is why it goes back to the fact that Muslims cannot assimilate. Not when these Muslims bring their children up from day one to hate all infidels. And yet John Kerry wants to get up there and say, oh, they need to live peacefully. I don't know about anyone else, but I have had it with this administration. And if President Obama does in fact enact sanctions against Russia, obviously this is not going to be a smooth transition for Donald Trump. No, I believe Barack Obama is doing everything, and he's releasing more prisoners than any other president, pardoning more criminals than any other president. He's released dozens of terrorists out of Guantanamo. President Obama has done everything and anything to destroy this country and to destroy our relations with, again, our biggest ally in the Mideast. Donald Trump is going to have a mess to clean up, and it will not be the fault of his. It will not be his fault. It will be the fault of this administration. So President Barack Obama, no, we're done. We're done with you. However, unfortunately, Barack Obama plans to rent a house in D.C. to the tune of, I don't know, I guess it's an 8,000 square foot home, and he plans to stay right in the middle of things because he wants to protect that legacy of basically aiding and abetting terrorists, I guess. Is that his legacy? I think so. His legacy of destroying America? Thank God we all elected Donald Trump, because thanks to the millions of voters that came out for Donald Trump, we will have saved America before it was too late. If we had had Hillary, it would have been too late, because I believe 4 more years of an Obama platform, of Obama's policies, this country frankly couldn't have taken it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I know all of you have had it with Barack Obama, and Barack Obama needs to get off his high horse and come to the realization that Americans voted for President-elect Donald Trump because President-elect Donald Trump is a real American. President-elect Donald Trump wants to truly make this country great again. President-elect Donald Trump wants to create jobs. President-elect Donald Trump wants to make everyone prosperous, not just himself and his crony people in his administration. President-elect Donald Trump wants to strengthen our military to what it once was. People have freaked out about that. I don't know why. Ronald Reagan always said, the stronger a military, the safer a nation. Yes, I see. Debbie Reynolds passed away tonight, and may she rest in peace. Shortly after her daughter, Carrie Fisher. I'm reading the comments. I don't know about anyone else, but I grew up watching her movies. My mother grew up with her, and then even though it was a different era, I loved her movies. And you know what? America was a lot nicer then. In the days of the Debbie Reynolds movies, when everything was mom, dad, apple pie, things were a lot nicer. Did I think about the blacks? I think the African Americans in this country will be better off under Barack. No, I think they were not better off under Barack Obama, and that is why so many came out in favor of Donald Trump. Sorry, but you saw Chicago. Chicago? Blacks are killing blacks over Christmas? I'm sorry, but Barack Obama has done nothing for the African American community, and really, he doesn't even consider himself black. He's a Muslim. He doesn't care about African Americans, and he doesn't care about Americans. He doesn't care about white Americans. He hasn't cared about black Americans. No. Think about it. Barack Obama has been more consumed with protecting Muslims and standing up for the Muslims in this country than he has for the blacks or for the whites. Barack Obama has divided this nation more than any other president. I actually know quite a few African Americans that share my thoughts, that share my sentiments, and feel the same. They feel Barack Obama is the Antichrist. And no, they don't look at Barack Obama as a black man. They look at him as a Muslim and as the Antichrist. And, you know, it's funny you say that. What about the blacks? Before Barack Obama became president, do you know I didn't even really think about if someone was black, if someone was white, if someone was Chinese. There was a time before Barack Obama when I looked at everyone as Americans. And since Barack Obama has become president, it has been drilled into my head. He or she is black. He or she is white. And it has divided this nation. We were doing just fine, blacks and whites, living together and respecting one another before Barack Obama. Under President Donald Trump, African Americans will be better off, as will white Americans. All Americans will be better off under Donald Trump. And for whomever said, what about the blacks? Does it have to be about that? Why don't you say, what about Americans? Because that's what we are. We're all Americans. And I think we should all come together and not look at color and look at one another as what we are. American citizens that are trying to better America. And we're doing that already with the election of, we now control the House, the Republicans control the House, the Republicans control the Senate, and we now have the White House. We're going to make this country great again. We're going to have 8 years of Republicans. We are going to make this country what it once was. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I'm not sure if it's still going on. It may be. And if I don't see you, have a very happy and healthy and safe New Year. And let's make America great again. All right. Thanks for watching. Good night.